May have to rush through this video a little bit as I'm running out of time, so let's go ahead and get to song number 32. Peek this song out at number 32. Aretha Franklin, Willing to Forgive. Forgotten about this ballad by Aretha Franklin, number 32 on my fancy playlist, July 24th, 1994. But boy, of course, she lost a lot of momentum in the 1990s. But boy, what a career she had. She had 112 charted singles on Billboard magazine. 77 of those singles hit Billboard's Hot 100. She's had 100 R&B chart entries. 20 of those went to number one on Billboard. Some of those, she had that amazing comeback in the 80s, Freeway of Love, although Jump to It went to number one on R&B. That was in 1982. But on the pop charts, there was Freeway of Love and Who's Summon Who, and that great record she did with Annie Lennox. And the fall of '85, Sisters Are Doing It For Themselves, one of the best records that Aretha did. Of course, she had a lot of great records. Her rendition of Bridge Over Troubled Water was pretty powerful too. Aretha Franklin, her first album was a gospel album. Of course, no surprise there. Her father was a preacher. Her father became her manager, first manager when she was very young. She signed up with the JVB record label, and she put out her first album in 1956, age 14, Songs of Faith. Later on, she signed with Columbia. She wanted to follow a secular path like Sam Cooke. Of course, you might remember that Sam Cooke, he was in the Soul Stirrers. He started out gospel, lead singer of the Soul Stirrers in the early to mid 50s. And then, of course, he went secular in 1957 when he came out with You Send Me. And Aretha Franklin wanted to follow in his footsteps. Not really that commercially successful on Columbia, not like she was with the Atlantic record label, but she did have her first top 40 hit off the Columbia record label, Rockabye Your Baby with a Dixie Melody. Which was a standard that goes back to 1918, published in 1918. It's been covered by a variety of people, including Sammy Davis Jr. and Al Jolson. Aretha Franklin took her version of that song up to number 37 on Billboard's Hot 100. She signed with the Atlantic record label. She decided not to renew her contract with Columbia, but she signed with Atlantic in 1967, and they flew her down to Muscle Shoals to record at the Fame Studios. And that's where she recorded I Never Loved a Man the Way I excuse me, The Way I Love You, I believe was the name of it. Slow, bluesy R&B record, number one hit on the R&B charts for Aretha Franklin. Then Respect came out, and well, you know how that goes. That went off like an atomic bomb. That was the one that launched her into superstardom right there. But I Never Loved a Man was her first number one. Was her first number one R&B single. Although I'll double check on that. Well, I believe that's all I got to say about Aretha Franklin. I couldn't find out any information on the record, though, as far as who wrote it, who produced it, Willing to Forgive. But here it is at number 32 on my fancy playlist, July 24th, 1994.